welcome viewers. This is Winch here. Hope you enjoyed that opening short montage. Been a while since upload, but I have not done this much with Battlefield 1, and that is actually review weapons. So felt compelled to actually put a weapon review out of substance. As usual, the details of my reviews are fairly lengthy in terms of just commentary and gameplay. We're going to start off with the two variants, or the low-weight variant of this weapon, the Bnowning Support class machine gun, and then transition more to the optical, which is my preferred loadout for this weapon. Really like this weapon. For those of you who have been watching my Battlefield 1 content, you know the Bnowning M1917 telescopic variant's my #1 weapon. I think I currently have, well, it's over almost 11,000 kills now with that gun. But what happened with this Bnowning machine gun, this 1917, is that I found it's a very similar model in terms of damage, recoil, and capability. So I'm really finding this weapon to be a good fit for me, as long as you understand. Just look at the range capability of this weapon. This is again why I like the Bnowning M1917, and just the sheer volume of suppressive fire that this weapon can put out, of course, much greater than the Bnowning M1917. Forgive me, I can't find the stats for this weapon, and there's 2 good kills at range there. For some reason, the Simthic.com doesn't seem to have this weapon's stats published yet, but from what I know, both weapons, this and the Bnowning, both shoot a fairly slow range, and that reload is so cool. They both shoot a fairly low rate of fire, about 450 rounds per minute. But I will say the recoil between the two is very similar. So you're going to see me kind of comparing the two a lot, but where I want you to kind of see the gameplay going with this weapon is just look how positioning is key to everything with this weapon. With the bipod of this weapon, even the low-weight variant has a bipod, which to me I think is pretty interesting, that they incorporate bipods and low-weight guns that are to be more of a run and gun loadout. But take advantage of it. But you'll see me time and time again with this weapon in this gameplay between clips. You'll see me try to position myself where I'm basically, the longer the distance, the better, in my opinion. I don't want to be close quarters with either one of these guns, but you know, this one in particular, I think it's even more of a hindrance, this weapon, in close quarters compared to the Bnowning M1917. So you want to, epic fail right there on that grenade. Panic wrapped the controller. You really do want to try to keep your distance with these weapons, and this one in particular, it's just not going to be very viable in close quarters. It's definitely no Parabellum or BAR 1917. So this is a great gun, though. If you know how to position yourself, and you'll see me kind of, what I've coined this weapon is the anti-zerg gun. I mean, how many times in Battlefield have you seen just 10 guys literally running in your field of view, and there's so many guys running, and you just need to have all the bullets you can to put out as much suppressive, sustained, offensive firepower as you can. But so many times, like, I mean, the bar is a great example. I mean, you can get 1 kill with that gun, maybe 2, before you're forced to reload. That's real frustrating. Bnowning M1917, another great gun, but I mean, 30 rounds in a clip, it's very frustrating. Show shot, you know, was that 25 rounds in the clip? Maybe, no, 20, I can't remember. Again, very frustrating. It's like one and done every time you get a kill, and I hate having to reload all the time. So having 250 rounds in the magazine is a huge advantage. Now, of course, there's other weapons now that lately that DICE has put out that have a lot of, you know, like the Prino, for example, that have a lot of bullets in their magazine, but it just seems like, to me, the Prino is just not a very good gun. It's very weak. The damage potential is very low. It takes forever to kill one person, and you're plinking away, and you just can't. In Battlefield 1, you can't afford to be spending a lot of time investing into killing one person. You got to be able to be mobile, and you see a lot of times when I'm bipoded up, I'm usually not staying there too long. You don't want to be sniper bait too much. But again, here's the Zerg I'm talking about. It's just, there's guys everywhere. They're spawning here on Bravo. And it just multiple targets that you can reassess, and not necessarily even get the kill. Maybe get an assist. Don't be too greedy, you know. Do as much damage as you can. When they move out of your field of view, move on to the next guy. Move on to the guy that you can actually drop, and you know, be flexible. It's about putting out as much damage as you can when you can. And here's me having some fun with this gun. It's just like so much fun and satisfying to be able to sit there and hold the trigger down and not have to reload. And when you do reload, it's like, wow, I put a lot of firepower out there, and you know, you still have to reload this gun. That's a good sign. It's great. It's a lot of fun. It's very satisfying. You'll find yourself grinning ear to ear when you're playing with this gun. I mean, that's what this game's all about, isn't it? I mean, it's just having fun. I still have fun with this game day. I'd argue this is the best shooter of this year, and it came out last year. Unfortunately, in terms of the first-person shooter market this year, we've been all kind of let down abysmally. So I still think Battlefield 1's the gun to, or the game to play in terms of shooters go. Just a great experience. You see those extreme long ranges of this gun, even on the low weight variant. This will be the last clip we'll have with the low weight variant before we switch to telescopic. But the telescopic variant just makes it that much more accurate at range, and that's what I really like. And you can see me a lot of times. I'm putting out fire on aircraft, doing as much damage as I possibly can before they drop their bombs on me. But the first montage, you saw me drop 2 bombers with this weapon. It's certainly capable, and the bombers are pretty beefy targets, so it's perfectly capable of dropping aircraft. So no anti-aircraft turrets are needed to at least put some damage on them. Excuse me. So best tips I can give you for this gun, bipods certainly. I know a lot of people don't think bipods are advantageous, but you do expose yourself to snipers. There's no question with bipods, but I do think that's a very good tactic with this weapon to bipod up when you can, when you know you've got a range advantage to your benefit. That will that will allow you to at least put out a lot of suppressive fire. Now there's one thing I didn't show any gameplay me selecting, but there's one critical aspect to this weapon. I should have probably mentioned this earlier, or what, 10 minutes in the video. Make sure you select the suppressive fire perk with this weapon. That's the perk that will allow you to increase your suppressive fire capability by 50%. That's huge. 50%. It's a pain in the ass to unlock. You gotta get like 50 kills, which with the French trench melee weapon, or not the, no, I'm sorry, the US trench melee weapon, and then you unlock like the fleur de something, some kind of French knife. You have to get 30 some kills with that. So it's a pain in the butt, because if you're like me, I'm not much of a melee guy, so you really got to spend some time investing. But once you do, you wholly need to have that perk with this weapon. Really just, I mean, it makes it 50% more effective with suppressive fire, which is everything with this gun. You'll find a lot of times that I'm finding, I haven't unlocked it that long, but I'm finding whenever I am engaging people that are returning fire to me, that they're not hitting me. Simply, I'm suppressing them to the point where they're not going to deliver and return accurate fire, which is huge, especially if you're fighting against snipers. So if you're bipoded up and you got a sniper shooting at you and you fully suppress them, chances are they're returning that miracle shot back at you. That headshot is going to be much greatly reduced. But this is a little more aggressive gameplay here. This is now the telescopic variant. Again, I have the suppressive perk here unlocked. That's in the corner right hand side of the screen. See that little eyeball? That's the perk you want to have equipped. So you'll kind of maybe see when people are returning fire at me, they're not really landing their shots. So just keep that in mind as you're watching the remaining portions of this gameplay. Just you'll see how ineffective their accuracy can be at times. And in the moment here, I'm going to show you just again this long-range capability of this weapon, the accuracy of this weapon. It's just right there in line with the Bnowning say telescopic, which is exactly what I like. Now you see on my sights here, I always turn the magnification down to the lowest possible. 2 times magnification, 2.5 times magnification. Yeah, 2.5 times I think. And then I change the optic reticle to the post reticle. Just whatever works for you. I like that post. It's not very invasive in your field of view, and it helps me stay on point. And, that's really all you want. But again, the extreme long ranges here, sniper range, suppress them, drop them, move on to the next guy. And you don't, when you're firing this weapon, don't let up on the trigger if you can. Just keep firing sustained while you reassess the next target, because like most LMGs with this weapon, you'll get a accuracy bonus the longer this weapon is fired. So again, this is all about this weapon. Know the weapon. It's about sustained fire suppression with this weapon, and it's very accurate as well. So very, and horses, if you ever come across cavalry, those are your targets. don't, you know, look, they got 6 guys, 6 blueberries there shooting at that guy, and you know, you're gonna be the one that drops them. So you're gonna have the capability to drop all those annoying horse spammers out there. I actually get excited when I see a horse. I'm like, yep, that's, you know, that horse is mine. It always has your name written on it, and it's just surprising to see how quick you can drop a horse, you know, with a weapon like this. So this gameplay, you can see here, this is a really good match I had. It was like 74 kills and maybe 12 deaths or so, or 13 deaths I think. But I think I dropped like 40 kills in the first 10 minutes of this match, and this is the beginning portion of this match. But just kind of showcasing just a couple highlights of this match, just the aggressive nature that you can play this role. Don't think you just have to bipod up and sit at the back of the map. I mean, that's a great tactic, it's a good strategy, but not every map is conducive to that type of gameplay. What I'm trying to show in these range of clips is that it's capable of many hats. You can be aggressive with the gun, as long as you're not getting up point blank range with an Automatico or a Hellriegel scrub. You should be in pretty good shape. Keep your distance. It's about catching people off guard. I mean, you really want to flank with this gun, and you'll see a clip here coming up where I just kind of position behind the team and drop a lot of guys. Just have a lot of guys shooting at me, and it's just a lot of fun in moments like that as well. I think it's going to come up here. Maybe oh, forgive me. I may have. Yeah, it looks like I missed that clip, but well, that's disappointing. Well, that's how it goes sometimes, guys. You know, the things about YouTube, and that's one of the reasons why I haven't uploaded a lot of clips lately, it's just so much work and time investment, and I mean, if you think you can make money off this, good luck, because the return on investment's very, very nominal. It's certainly not worth, you know, hours and hours of time that easily takes to make one of these videos, and I mean, not to mention just compiling all the footage, keeping all in track, and it can be cumbersome sometimes. But I think this clip coming up here is pretty good, where I kind of flank up behind the team and bipod up and just kind of shoot guys at doorways. You can just kind of see this, the offensive capability of this weapon. It's just really, there's not much else out there I've found that can do this. Like I said, Bnowning M1917 is great for just a few targets, but when you're handling that Zerg, when you're handling 10-15 guys out in front of you, or just a constant respawn spam, or people, you know, spawning on teammates, yeah, right here, I'm gonna bipod up. See a lot of targets here, kind of up in this doorway, and I know they're trying to push up here like they normally are to B. This is a great example of just how you kind of want to use a gun, and just having constant fire capability of the weapon. Already dropping some service stars with the gun. It's just a lot of fun. I mean, moments like this, oh, look at that. You see that guy's head splatter, just a blood like shot back like 6 feet behind his head. Holy cow, I thought that was I think a friendly that was shooting. Here I've got some attention on my of the enemy there. I just had too many guys shooting at me, unfortunately, but still had those guys suppressed. That guy was an MP18 optical or whatever that was. I mean, come on. How is an assault going to have that kind of range? But, you know, everybody gets lucky every now and then. Now you can see me push up around the corner here, and for the remainder of this clip, you'll see me kind of bipod up, really overlooking two segments of the battlefield. I can look at position Bravo and position Charlie again. That's where this gun shines. I mean, just having you're essentially locking off entire segments of the map with this weapon. Again, snipers are your biggest threat. I mean, don't get me wrong, I do get sniped frequently with the bipod deployed. But again, it's about being mobile and being situationally aware. If you feel like that threat's out there, if you see a sniper glint coming at you, don't challenge them. I mean, don't be foolish. They're going to have the advantage most of the time in those situations, unless you have managed to fully suppress them. But just quickly back off and don't re-peek. You know, move to another position, reassess, and try to get fire on that sniper. So just, you know, be cognizant of where enemy spawns are if you can, and particularly, like I said, snipers are your biggest threat. Just don't mess with them if you can. But you see I've just kind of put the bipod out and pop back, and then I see people shooting at me. I'm just constantly trying to reassess, you know, what the threat is out there, where it's coming from, and see if I can stem it. If not, I'll move on to something else. You know, again, here's a guy spawning out his deployment. Feel bad for him. It's a rough day some days out there in a very, very competitive battlefield. It's ruthless out there. You know, dog eat dog, but this is a big dog out there. This weapon, I mean, just the capability of this weapon is it's so much fun. It's not only deadly, but it's fun. It's quickly becoming one of my favorite weapons in the game. And I mean, there's so many times you think, oh, I like this weapon, but the Perino was a big letdown for me. Parabellum, love that weapon. What I coined the modern day, Battlefield 1's variant of the M249 from Battlefield 4 days. We got a lot of good clips with that. I should probably get a review of that out as well. So look for that in the coming future. I've got this, like I said, I got a lot of video out there. I could do some survivability stuff and all that. But again, this boils down to time, guys. I mean, it takes hours to do this video. I enjoy, the only reason I do this is because I enjoy doing this for you guys. But like I say, the time investment sometimes, time spent doing this is time taken away from gaming, and all of us have lives out there. You have to decide how to spend your time accordingly. This is that new map that is released. I never know the names of any maps in Battlefield 1. I've just given up trying to keep them straight because they're all like 4 names. It's tough to keep track of. But I like this desert map. This is a good map as well. And this kind of exemplifies the trench warfare here. I think they really did this good, this map. And this is what, trench warfare was like. I mean, just lots of guys running up charging over the trench. You'll see a guy come up here and trying to bayonet charge the infiltrator kit in front of me, and then I just get a sword swipe on me. Just look at these guys popping up. I mean, look at all these multiple targets, and this thing has just tons of ammo to deal with it all. Again, the capability of this weapon offensively it's unmatched. I mean, look at this. There's the infiltrator right here. Guy bayonet charge. Pull out the saber. I mean, moments like this in this game, you're not going to find it in any other shooter out there. So again, why I argue this is still the best shooter out there. Certainly the best shooter of 2017 was, this game came out in 2016. Still more DLC come out with this game as well. Just wish they had a few more weapons out there. It'd be nice, but like I say, I mean, I guess quality over quantity, right? But love this weapon. Hope this kind of opened your guys' eyes to support class again. I mean, there's supposedly a buff coming. We've yet to see it, where they're going to buff the damage output of a lot of support guns. So I don't know if this weapon is included in that or not. What DICE's intentions are, if they're going to buff the damage output so it doesn't take like 6 bullets to kill a guy. But nonetheless, it's still very viable as it sits now with the damage model that this weapon does have, which is higher than some. And I think that's why the Perino suffers, is it's got a lower damage model, kind of like the Lewis gun as well. That's why I stay away from those support type weapons. I got to be having at least 23 damage, 23 to 18 range, at extreme range. So look forward to that. That'd be good times. But I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Thanks for your patience. Appreciate your support over the years. This is Windshear. I will try to have more Battlefield 1 content to come. Thanks for watching.